Hi, how we doing? It is the first day of Summerween. Technically, we're almost done with the first day of Summerween, but today has been busy and I kind of forgot to start this vlog. So here we are. Summerween is a readathon that kind of puts Halloween in summer, and it's one that's been going on for a couple of years now, and I always learn that it's happening when it's happening. Like we're already a couple of days in. So I took precautions this year and I'm here. I've been hyped for a couple of weeks. I am so ready for this. So for this readathon there are prompts, but I'm gonna just read whatever I want, and then if something fits into the prompts, we'll go with it. But the vibes are spooky things, spoopy things, thriller, mystery, horror. That's what we're going with, which is not typically my vibe, but I've actually been so excited for this. So we're doing it. So the only kind of plan I had for this readathon is that I wanted to get through some of like my backlist galleys from that galley, because I have so many mystery thriller horror books on there that I have not read at all. I kind of want to prioritize those, and I thought it would be fun to like start at the oldest one I got accepted for. But then yesterday I got accepted for all of the Sheets graphic novels, so that's what I started on. I started with Sheets by Brenna Tumblr. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, but this is a cute graphic novel following a ghost in a laundromat, and I give it 4 stars. I thought I don't totally understand the hype behind it, even if it wasn't like a full 5-star love it experience for me, but I think this graphic novel does a great job and being sad and heartbreaking and dealing with some hard-hitting topics while also being like very heartwarming and lighthearted. And I just left this reading experience which is like a full heart, and I really liked it. So I definitely get why this has been so hyped over the years. I was glad to see it on that galley because I've been meaning to read it for a while. So that's first thing checked off. Also checks off a prompt of reading a manga, graphic novel, or novella. This is a graphic novel. And then because I enjoyed it so much, I read the second one, which is Delicate, again by Brenna Tumblr. And this one I also really liked. I gave it 3 stars though, because even though I do think this has the charm of the first one, I feel like this one got a little bit repetitive, and just like 90% of the characters are unlikable, like very unlikable, and don't really face repercussions for their actions, and it just wasn't really that fun to read. It got very exhausting to read, so that's why I knocked this off from like the first one. But I did still really like it. I did still think it was really cute. Its messaging was a bit heavy-handed, but it's like targeted towards like a middle grade audience, so I can totally understand, especially because of the more difficult topics it deals with. It's very good in my opinion that it does like straight on give you the messaging instead of like leaving things gray. Maybe I also really like this, and again this fits the prompt again, of course, of reading a graphic novel, but also to read a book set in fall. And yeah, like I said, I got accepted for this entire series, so my next read, which I'm gonna read right after I turn on the camera, is gonna be, if my Goodreads loads. So my next read is gonna be Lights, which is the 3rd one in the series and comes out September 6th. So I'm very early, but I wanna finish off the, oh, it says here in the synopsis is a trilogy, so yeah, then definitely I want to finish this off. This is the last book. I'm gonna turn on the lights in a minute and then like go to sleep right after I finish this, so I'm gonna make it count towards the read a book in the dark prompts, so that way on the first day I'll already have checked off 3 of the prompts, and I feel great. Hi, it is Sunday, so I didn't update you yesterday. I'm so sorry for that. I know I promised, but that didn't happen. But basically what happened is, right after I updated you Friday evening, I got really sick. I will like spare you the details, but I got pretty sick, and therefore, and that lasted all throughout yesterday, and luckily, knock on wood, like I'm totally fine now. So that's why I did not update. I did not want to be in front of the camera. I did still read, like I did promise in the video. I did manage to finish Delicates Friday evening. This is the last in the Sheet series. It comes out September 5th. Normally I don't read books this early, but I decided to just like read the entire trilogy at once because I thought that would be the most fun and have the most impact, and I'm glad I did because I really love this. I'm gonna give this 5 stars. It's my favorite from the series. I just think it's a great finale to the trilogy. We dive more into Randall's, who is the ghost. We delve more into like his story and his past and everything. And I thought all of that was really interesting. And we had a really strong focus on friendship in this one. I mean, that's the main focus of like all of these. I really just liked what was brought to the table in this volume, and I nearly cried towards the ending. I'm like, there were good tears. Were not devastating tears. They were just like, but yeah. So that means on the first day, I completed 3 challenges, and then yesterday I also spent most of the day reading because I felt like shit and I barely could do anything else. So I started and finished The Soulmate by Sally Hepworth. This is the oldest book that I have on like my NetGalley TBR that fits like the theme of Summerween, I guess. So like what I was accepted for the longest. And because like I said, that's what I'm basically doing with my galleys to be able to get through a bunch of them. And this one I had heard some mixed things about, so I was a bit nervous going into it because it has been out since like April, I believe. I'm getting through the backlist, I know. And I personally wasn't a fan of it. I just thought it was a bit boring. I mean, it was very readable, and mainly because I was just curious about how things were gonna evolve. But I do think that throughout most of the book, I was just like, okay, what's the point? And like, what is this leading to? What are we doing? And then I feel like none of the reveals were satisfying enough to me to make up for that. So I ended up giving it a 2 star. I don't know if I said that already. And then today I have started What Have We Done by Alex Finley, I believe the author's name is. I could look this up. I'm not doing it, but you can look at it. And yeah, this is again next oldest. And this one came out in March, I believe. And I actually have not heard anything about this. Like I have heard mixed things on this author's like other 2 books, but not on this one. It's interesting. I am not like it. Like I'm not that far in. I think I'm like 35% of the way through, so it's not that far. And it is reading very quickly, I can tell you that. I've been flying through it, but I'm not connecting to the writing style. And then it's also told in like 3 different perspectives, and I'm having a hard time seeing how they are part of the same book. Like I can see how they connect because they have like a shared thing in the past, we know that. But I don't understand how they're in the same book because all 2 perspectives feel like such different stories. And yeah, I'm not really a big fan of either of them, but like I said, I'm not far in, so who knows. I just have like my bedside table lamp on, so I'm sorry for the lights. It looks much more bright in here than it does in camera. But it kind of fits the spooky Summerween vibes, doesn't it? But anyway, I just finished What Have We Done by Alex Finlay, and I'm giving it a 2 star, which doesn't feel entirely right. Like I enjoyed The Soulmate so much more than I did What Have We Done, but like a 1 star just felt worn. So this is where we are. But basically my thoughts on it hadn't really changed much. The different perspectives do come together more, but I don't know, I felt like I was reading like 3 different books the entire time I was reading this book. Even when they eventually were in like the same place and like doing the same stuff, it still felt so different and disjointed from each other. And I overall didn't really like the writing. I feel like it kept me at arm's length of everything that was happening, which didn't help. And then overall, I think when it comes to like the reveals and the twists and stuff like that, when there's like some big things happen, I feel like it does kind of feel like we're cramping in as many things as we possibly can, and like, you know, shocking things and like difficult things, and therefore like none of them comes to right, you know. It kind of feels more that they're present for shock value rather than like, you know, actually being well done. And then I was actually going to read the next oldest book that I was accepted for NetGalley, and it's a Twyford Code by Janice Hallett, which I'm still gonna read. But I also realized that What Have We Done is my 99 book I've read this year, which means the next book I read is my 100 book, aka the book that will also finish my Goodreads challenge. So I wanted that to be like special, and I didn't like good. So because I've never read anything by Janice Hallett before, because I know it's like in a different format. It's not like a typical prose novel. I know the Twyford Code is written in like voice memos, I believe, so it's written differently. I don't know if I'm gonna vibe with that completely, so I decided to not go with that book now, but instead I decided to pick up Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers by Jessica Sutanto, which I got as an ebook from my library, and I have to return this next week. So well, it's a cozy mystery kind of deal. The two books that I've read by Jessica Sutanto have been a 5 and a 4-star, and it's book 1 and 2 in the Auntie series, so perhaps I might not like this, but I am hopeful. So yeah. Hi, how are you doing? We're back with the spooky light. I'm so sorry. But it is Wednesday night, so I have not talked to you at all. And I'm so sorry. But basically on Monday I did not read anything. God knows why. I generally don't know why I didn't read anything. I just didn't get around to it. And then yesterday and today I've just been really busy. We've been doing a lot of stuff. We've been going out, having fun. So I haven't read a whole lot. I did read in its entirety Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers by Jessica Sutanto, and I ended up giving this 4 stars. I actually finished it this morning, and I was a bit hesitant on the rating at first just because of the way things were like developing. I wasn't too sure if I was gonna like the reveals or not, but actually I really loved the reveal and I really liked the way that was executed. I really like the cast of characters. I love Vera Wong. Like, oh my god. Like, if you love the aunties in the Nightlight for Auntie series, you'll love Vera Wong because she is just all 4 of them combined into one human, and it's amazing, genuinely. And I don't know, I laughed so much. I thought it was a engaging mystery, and like I said, I also really love the cast of side characters. There was like this great fun family aspect to it as well, and it's just a fun, like, cozy mystery kind of. What's not as great is that tomorrow is already the last day of Summerween. I did not have I do not remember that. Oh shit. And I actually have 2 books that I want to finish before the end of Summerween, which I don't know if it's gonna work, but we'll try. The first one is The Twyford Code by Janice Hallett, which I have not started yet. I'm gonna start as soon as I finish updating this, but I mentioned this is the next in line for the galleys that I need to read if you go like backwards from when I was accepted for them. And then also, do not just be reading ebooks. I also picked up The Final Girls by Riley Sager. I actually started this on Monday, but I literally got like 2 pages into this, so not very far. But I want to read this to fill the final challenge, which is to read a thriller, because that way then I'll have finished all of the challenges, which was not my plan going into this week, but now I'm only 1 challenge removed from finishing it. I'm doing it. And also just because I can get like an actual book of my physical TBR for this week. Hi, it is the end of Summerween. I'm so sorry for not updating you yesterday, but I really focused my all on reading yesterday, so I didn't do an update, but I did manage to do it. I finished the 2 books that I wanted to get done. I first finished Final Girls by Riley Sager. This fit the prompt to read a thriller, and I ended up giving this 4 stars, which ended up being quite a surprise for me because for a long time I thought this was gonna be a 3-star. Not because it was bad, I quite liked it. I just, for a long time while reading this book, I thought I had it figured out. And honestly, I thought I figured it out about like 100 pages in. So then as I kept reading, I was just bored because it just kept confirming my theory. And I was like, yeah, well, this is kind of lame, you know? And then the last 100 pages happened, and turns out, boy, was I wrong. Well, not entirely wrong. Technically what I predicted is correct, but there was so much more than that that I absolutely did not see coming. I felt bamboozled. I was shocked. Yeah, I really enjoyed it because of that. Like, the ending definitely like changed my thoughts of the rest of the book because it just changed my perspective of it. And then I also finished The Twyford Code by Janice Hallett. This one I ended up giving a 3-star, mainly because I think this is told for like voice memos, and that format just didn't end up working for me. I feel like it gave an opportunity for a lot of like side tangents, which those side tangents do become relevant by the end, but it takes a long time to figure out why those are relevant, and therefore it just feels like we're stopping the story like every so often, and it felt very slow and dragged out, and I was like, come on, let's get it moving. I don't care about this section. So yeah, there were moments where I was like really invested in this book, and other moments where I wasn't really. That's my entire Summerween. I read 8 books. I mean, 3 of those were graphic novels, but I still feel like that's a huge accomplishment, especially how busy this week was. It's incredible, and I'm so glad that I got around to participating in it this year. And yeah, had fun. So hopefully next year I'll be able to participate again, and I'll see you then.
Here I am again, the same old situation. Why does the God thing have to be so complicated? Should've played